And they would describe her as someone full of kindness, laughter, and grace. And tonight, we gather not only to grieve her loss, but to remember her love, her strength, and the joy that she shared with each and every single one of us. To begin our program, our remembrance, let's take a moment to look back at Emman's most cherished memories, moments that reflect the warmth and positivity that she brought to the lives of those around her. Here's a short AVP tribute prepared by, of course, her Sparkle family, lovingly prepared for her memory.
Friend of ours. And when I think back to moments that captured the quintessential Emman as I knew her, there's one particular memory that stands out. A few years ago, our families were on a trip to Africa. Before one of the highlights of the trek to see the golden monkeys, there was a small moment. It was quiet, unremarkable to anyone else. We were getting ready with our guides and families, and while waiting, Emman and I had a little small talk. We started talking about small things, and then eventually I started talking about things I usually keep to myself, like my own mental health and my battle with Tourette's syndrome. She didn't make it awkward, just listened, steady and gentle, until I realized I didn't have to carry everything alone. That moment stayed with me. It reminded me that authenticity isn't an aesthetic. Rawness can show friction to the world that sees it. To us, it was humanizing. It's what happens when two people meet honestly, without pretending to be fine. When you push through discomfort, instead of polishing it away, that's where the truth sings. And that's what Emman offered. Not necessarily answers, but space. A kind of quiet understanding that made it easier, even just for a moment, to be real. And yet, Emman was associated with the opposite of quiet. She loved expression. She would tell me exactly how to take her photos with the monkeys, the angle, the light, which side looked best. She'd have me doing yoga and Pilates poses to capture the perfect photo. She cared about the details because she wanted to get it right. She was meticulous about her TikTok page and loved presenting herself to the world. And I think, in her own way, that was her art. Trying to translate what she felt inside into something visible, something beautiful. Art doesn't have to justify pain. It just has to be honest about it. It's one thing to be right about something. It's another thing to be honest about it. And it's no coincidence that people gravitated to her because of the latter. Because honesty, even when it's imperfect, feels like a light in a world that can be so dark. I guess the reason this conversation left such a delicate footprint in my mind is because it taught me that the truest version of you will always be unfinished. The truest version of you isn't the one that's done. It's the one that keeps tuning itself toward honesty and authenticity, even if it means going off key for a while. I think that's what Emman taught me, just by being herself. That being human isn't always about resolution. It's about rhythm. It's about trying to stay honest, even when it's uncertain. She was never static. She was constantly searching, adjusting, expressing. And maybe that's what we carry forward with her. The reminder that our stories aren't supposed to be neat or complete, just ruin the moment we're living them. With this, I would like to thank Tita Feli, Tito Kim, Eliana, and Jose for helping raise such a once-in-a-lifetime individual. Someone who, in the few moments I was fortunate to share with her, gave me a lifetime's worth of fond memories and gentle reminders to be true to myself. Or in other words, to be kind. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing things that Emily's taught you and those special memories. Up next, we'd like to call on Micah to give her story.
Today we gather to celebrate the life of someone whose presence could brighten even the darkest days. Our dear friend, Emman. Emman was the kind of person who carried sunshine wherever she went. Her laughter was so contagious and so was her energy. It's the kind that could lift the room in an instant. She had the rare gift of making people feel seen, heard, and valued, no matter what they're going through. She wasn't just a friend, she was just everyone's cheerleader. Whether it's a small win or a tough moment, Emma was always there with her words of encouragement, reminding us that we could make it through. She celebrated others with a big heart, so big you couldn't have the love around her. Emma taught us what it meant to live joyfully, to care deeply, and to find laughter even when life gets hard. Her warmth, her light, and her unwavering kindness will continue to live in the stories we shared and the hearts which she touched. Our dear Emman, we will miss you terribly. Thank you for being our spark, our laughter, and our strength. You will always be remembered for how beautifully you live.
Thank you so much, Micah, for that heartfelt tribute. Up next, we have Leah to share some stories of our dear Emma.
I met Emman just over a year ago. I met her on a spontaneous trip to La Union. And I wasn't expecting to meet her. It was very last minute. But little did I know that day I had gained a friend for life. And as the saying goes, the best relationships come from those least unexpected. I'll be honest, when I first met Emman, I was intimidated. But as I got to know her, she was the most selfless, most humble, kindest person I've ever met. She was like a shooting star. Wherever she went, she instantly lit up the room. She was a ball of energy, full of kindness, and her laughter was so contagious that it spread to everyone around her. And she always listened with a warm heart. She had this way of making people feel lighter just by being there. She truly had a beautiful soul. Everyone comes into our lives for a purpose, to teach us, and Emman came into ours to remind us what genuine kindness and light looks like. She taught us how powerful it is to make people feel seen, heard, and loved, even without trying. She had the way of bringing people together. Her laughter, her warmth, her energy, it all made the world feel a little brighter and kinder. Quietly powerful in the way she touched hearts. To honor her, we can continue to live by what she stood for. To be kinder, more patient, and more understanding. To love deeply, laugh freely, and never hesitate to help others the way she always did. Her light may no longer be here with us in the same way, but the warmth she left behind will continue to guide us. As Matthew 11:28-30 says, "Come to me, all who are worthy and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Now she is in God's loving arms, in a place of eternal rest, where her light will shine forever. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leah, for sharing how Emma was a light to you and to everyone. And lastly, we'd like to call
I don't really have a speech. I don't really know, what kind of words to come up with to justify how I feel about the situation. I met Emman last year, and we were both inducted into GMA, Sparkle Artists together. And in this industry, you meet a lot of people who are nice, and they're nice to you for certain things, and they want things from you. Emman was one of the first people I met in this industry that didn't care about what anyone had to offer. She just cared about people. The first conversation we had was about how she cared about her sister, when she was in New York and she was going through some certain things and she felt helpless and she really wanted to get her out of that. She talked about how much she admired her mother and how much her mother was such a huge component of her life and how smart she was, how strong she was. She would talk about how Kuya Kim was such a cool guy and how he was a cornerstone in her life. And she just deeply cared about the people that was in her life. She, like everybody else in here, I'm pretty sure, makes you feel like you're cared for and you're understood when you speak to her. When you share moments with Emman, you can take that with you for the rest of your life. There's some people that I know from childhood that have not left any impact on my life. And I'm 31 years old. Emman has been in my life for 1 year, and she's been more of a teacher than a friend. She's taught me to be real to myself. She's taught me to talk to people and care for people, whether it's a janitor, whether you're a VP of a company, whether you're a celebrity, it does not matter who you are. She'll always treat people with kindness and respect. She'll always be authentic, whether you're online, whether you're offline, does not matter. You should never take the mask with you. I could talk about stories about Emman, but I want to end it on a really positive note. To me, Emman is like a lighthouse because no matter how treacherous the waters are, there's still the ability to get brightness no matter what. And thank you to her family, thank you to her parents for raising such an amazing woman and allowing millions of people, including everybody in this room, to experience Emman. So thank you very much.